Thanks again for joining me on my program. Today I'm going to bring a message that I've entitled, When All Seems Lost. And I hope you'll stay with me through this teaching and even share with a friend. I know that for many folks that might be listening today, that you're going through a season in your life where it feels as though, why even try? Why try? I'm just going to lose, or else I have already lost. And the pain is deep, the frustration and maybe the anger, they're there. You don't see a way out, whether this be for yourself or a loved one or a close friend. You don't see an answer. You don't see how this can come out good. It appears lost and hopeless. Well, stay with me today. You see, God knew we would go through this situation, and I think all of us have. There's been times when I've sat in a chair and cried my eyes out because I didn't see an end, because I didn't see an answer to a problem. But God was always there, and God was always my answer, and He had an answer for me. Stay with me today. Let's go to Deuteronomy, New King James Version, chapter 20, and I'm going to read the first 4 verses. When you go out to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots and people more numerous than you, do not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God is with you. Who brought you up from the land of Egypt? Let's stop right there for a moment. When you go out to battle, in other words, when there's this testing going on in your life, or a situation in your life that appears so troubling, God said through the high priest, and the high priest for us is Jesus. He said, when you go out to battle against your enemies, and this is what you see, horses and chariots and people more numerous than you. In other words, it's like I'm on the wrong side. They're all over there and I'm over here. They've got everything they need and I don't have what I need. I can't possibly fight against them. They've got everything. They've got the world, the glamour, the glitz, and I'm just me. Have you ever said that? They've got the money. They've got influence, and I'm just me. What do I have? I'm just me. I can't fight against that. Then the Lord said, do not be afraid of them, or in other words, because the Lord your God is with you. The Lord your God is not with them, He's with you. Wow. And then, as though that wasn't enough, He wants you to take a moment and remember something. He says, who brought you up from the land of Egypt? We know that the Lord delivered the Israelites from the oppression of the Egyptians, brought them out. So God says to us today, where were you and where was I in your past when I brought you through all of these other issues of life? This isn't your first go-round at a situation. I want you to stop for a moment and think, where did God bring you through in your past? And you'll find it. You'll begin to remember. Begin to recall the times in the past where God delivered you, where God delivered and came through just like He said. So He says, and who brought you up from the land of Egypt? Now verse 2. So it shall be, when you are on the verge of battle, when you're at this situation in your life right now, that the priest in our case is Jesus, shall approach and speak to the people, and he shall say to them, Hear, O Israel, or O children of God. Today you are on the verge of a battle with your enemies. Do not let your heart faint. Do not be afraid, and do not tremble or be terrified because of them. This is nothing to let your heart get anxious over, he says. Verse 4, For, or because, the Lord your God is he who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. Now, sometimes we read this and we may think God said he would go and fight. He said he would go with us to fight. He still expects us to pick up the sword of the Spirit, the Word, and to proclaim it in all situations. Have you picked up the sword of the Spirit, the Word, today? If you're on the verge of a battle, God said in verse 4, He who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies. We want to send him out to the fight. He says, I'll go with you and then I'll fight. He didn't ask us to do the fighting, but he said, I'll go with you. So often we want to, if Satan had his way, we would say, there's no hope, there's no use, I can't win, and therefore we won't do this very thing right here. We won't go to the battle because we don't feel we can win. When God is on our side, we have already won. And when he speaks to you, his children, and reminds you, he says, go back and remember what I've done in the past for you. I came through. You'll always find that he did. Why? Well, because he loves you. And because he's strong enough to do it. Because he will honor his word that you stood on. Remember, I said, get the sword of the Spirit. Get the word in your hand. Get it in your spirit. Speak it out your mouth. Go to your battle. Don't run from your battle. And don't be afraid of your battle. Go to your battle. God will do the fighting. He'll go with you. Verse 4 again. To fight for you against your enemies to save you. So the next time Satan makes you feel about this tall, you point to who's standing beside you. Say, I'm not backing off. I'm not sitting down, and I'm not getting afraid. I'm not going to lose any sleep over this either. I'm not going to become anxious. God went with me. I'm going to the battle. God will do the fighting, but I'm going to go. And he'll come with me. And he said that he would do it to save me. And so there's nothing Satan can throw at you. I don't care how many horses and chariots and how much glamour and how much money and how much any influence the world may have over your situation. It's just you and God, and that's enough to win every battle. Thank you for staying with me today. Share with a friend. You know, the more we get the word out, this is what God has called me to do, is to do the teaching. But I need you to spread it around. So would you share this today? I would be very, very grateful. And ask them to subscribe. Hit the like button. You know, I kind of like that. It feels good that somebody hit a like button now and then. God has got a message to bring a hope and encouragement to someone today. Share this video today, and I appreciate it. God bless you.